All right, guys, welcome back. This is episode 12. I'm not even going to put my hands up because this makes no sense. I don't have enough fingers for real.
We off that. We done done too much.
It's 12. We're in double digits. We're here. So before we get started, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And to also make sure you get notifications when new episodes are uploaded. And how are we?
Oh, we're good.
We're good. You guys see we have a third party. Yay. Y'all getting all this black girl magic.
I know, live and in person. Like, here we go.
I feel very blessed to be you guys first in studio guests. So,
yes. So we are excited. Today we have Tianna. Make sure you say her name right, okay? Because we just had a little offline conversation. Right. Her name is Tianna.
Not with the O.
Yes. Not with the O. Just make sure you get it right. So today we are going to be talking about trauma. But before we get too heavy on y'all, we're going to play a game because y'all know we like to play games.
Exactly.
So today we're going to play Never Have I Ever. And keep it cute. I guess you'll know more about us now today. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
All right. And you're going to play too. So
I know.
You know the rules. I'm ready. You do it.
Never
you have done it before. If you want to share
this story,
feel free. We love stories. Okay?
Well, if I have to drink, I'll probably share.
Okay. So, never have I ever given someone a fake name.
That's required.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking around telling people my name was Danielle for like 7 years.
I was telling people my name was Danielle too.
Only in the DMV, only in the DMV area. Like I would be Danielle when I went there.
I mean, that's a good name, so I'm with it. That's the same name I use.
So, but the problem is, I don't think I've ever had a consistent name that I use.
You gotta keep it consistent.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that's. Sometimes my Gemini.
I'm gonna say that's very Gemini of you.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like I feel different today, so I don't want to be that name. I want to be something different.
Keep them on your toes.
It's fine as long as you're not in the same area. I think you could be 20 different people depending on the areas.
That's true.
Going back to the same places, I would use the same fake name.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but if you also don't, well, let's say if it's a guy, you don't want to know your real name, and you'd be like, well, I thought you told me your name was Mary, and now it's like Nicole. Yeah, I got personalities. I'm crazy. And like,
oh yeah, I mean, that always keeps the F boys away, be psychotic. So, I mean, hey, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
All right, the next one. Never have I ever been to an adult store.
Wait, it's fun to go to the sex shop.
It is.
They be having all kinds of stuff.
It's educational.
Yeah. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with spending your coins there.
No, I mean, I've invested in some pieces lately that have been very serving for me. So yes, I mean, I can't sit here. I was worth every bit of the money too. So,
it's a pandemic. At least we know y'all are safe.
I'm like, yes, and you know
self-love
that
is the best love,
right?
And it's the safest,
and it won't disappoint.
And ain't gonna be no baby.
Absolutely not.
Like, praise them.
Yes.
Okay.
Trying to stay baby free.
Now things you can plug in. You don't need batteries.
Yeah, mine is rechargeable. Yeah, which I love because I do use it often. So batteries would be a big deal because it gets a lot of
investment.
Yeah, it was the greatest $65 I ever spent.
That's not even bad either. True.
I know. I got a coupon.
See, I'm just a promo code with a coupon. Yeah, and as you should. All right. Never have I ever fallen asleep in public.
So
what does that mean?
So I think the beach counts because I fall asleep on the beach all the time.
I'm gonna say, does the hair salon count? Because when I'm getting my hair braided.
No, I don't think I've ever fallen asleep in public. Like,
you never fell asleep at the beach? Is that white of me?
I don't think it's white. It's not something that I've done.
I mean, I've never felt safe enough or comfortable enough to do it. I'm hot, so I can't really fall asleep.
That's how I feel about it.
Out.
Yeah.
When you just but when you lay on the beach and listen to the waves, it's just relaxed. I will bust a nap.
Yeah, but what beach are you at where kids aren't screaming and all that ish too? Like, you know what I mean?
And so when you go to beaches that have less sidewalks, they don't really be kids. There's other beaches that they don't be kids at.
Yeah,
and those beaches
to the beach.
Those beaches are prime, prime. Because you're right. The one time we were at the beach, one of my children hit someone in the head that was asleep with a ball. And I was in bed. Wait, weren't you there today? I think that was the day that the boys did it. Maybe you weren't there that time.
No, I was there the day that they decided to feed the seagulls and not tell us, and we had to fight the seagulls.
So if y'all can tell, it's not peaceful when you take children to the beach.
No.
Happy Mother's Day.
And when you see our pictures this summer, you won't see any kids.
No kids, okay?
Oh, absolutely, child.
No,
I'm trying to
no.
be child free all summer.
Child free, okay? Because I need a child free bathing suit. I don't have time.
Todd, and that's a whole nother thing. And then it's like, how do you fall asleep when you don't have a child? No. I'm too busy taking pictures.
I would have to be really drunk to go to sleep on the beach.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, I don't think that's you falling asleep. Like she said, it's more like I be passed out. Yeah. So like, but I've never fallen asleep in like a public setting. No, when I was pregnant, matter of fact, I'm lying. When I was pregnant, I sat down at the mall and I fell asleep in the food court. Just
oh my God, what a narcoleptic.
I was my first trimester was so bad with the sleep. I didn't have no other symptoms real bad, but when it came to the sleeping, I thought that I took 2 Tylenol PMs every couple hours. Like my body just was shut down.
Yeah,
my eyes would close. I mean, I think that I was more scared to drive tired when I was pregnant than I were to drive drunk, because it was that bad. I would fall asleep like that. So I fell asleep at the mall eating Tianna, and somebody tapped me and woke me up. So that has happened to me, but I don't count that because of a whole fetus, like a person was taking over me.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really get that. If you look at it, he fell asleep.
Girl,
I didn't fall asleep. I mean, so yeah, that was my only public sleeping.
All right, and then the last one: never have I ever rode a mechanical bull.
I've always been I'm a small girl. I ain't want to get thrown off. So yeah, no, y'all got that one.
The one and only time was your birthday, and I said never again. I was too big to even try it at that time. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Fine. First of all, I couldn't get up on the bull. It took 12 attempts, and then when I finally got on it, it was like 3 seconds. I said, "This is why big people don't go."
You know what?
These kind of things.
No, because you have to try. I think it's always fun because Xfinity, they just let you do what you want. You can ride a mechanical bull, you can dance on the bar for shots. Like
I miss that.
It's a good time.
Yeah, dancing on the bar was the shit.
Yeah,
especially in there when they had the flamingos at the Xfinity, that one spot.
Yep,
they'll give you a whole flamingo. You gotta finish. If you're dancing and all that, but I just stayed away from the bull. The bull I was always too drunk when I got to that room to mess with that. So
I didn't say I was too drunk for that. It was just I was too big for that. I want to try it now because I wasn't in shape. Now I think I can hold on and be pretty good.
But we can run it back.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. That sounds like a good time to me.
Add it to the summer bucket list.
Yes.
Okay, so what's popping?
Whew, there's lots of things popping. You want to start, since I guess we talked about Kevin Samuels, 2 episodes ago? Since even though we had some people asking what was the short. The short was we were tired last week. That still counted as an episode, just so y'all know. But the episode prior, we talked about Kevin Samuels. So have y'all been following the Kevin Samuels and Dr. Umar back and forth little drama that they have going on? I'm here for it. Absolutely. I think that someone needed to get Kev together, okay? Because he just be doing too much. And I love the fact that Dr. Umar stepped up and he was like, y'all are running around here, listen to these YouTubian actors say stuff about Black women and supporting them instead of actually understanding that they are taken away from all of the great things that Black women do. So it would be one thing too if in general he said, even it would still be kind of sketchy even if he said in general women do XYZ, because it's still a generalization. But the fact that he says these women are great, but Black women, oh no. Yeah, Dr. Umar wasn't here for it, and he came and got that ass together. Right. I was glad to see it.
As he should have. And like they said, everybody wants to do like a verse about. I would be here for it. Like literally, you bring your points on this subject, I'm gonna bring mine, and we're just gonna talk it out. Kevin Samuels is not gonna make any kind of sense. But like as you said, sometimes you make valid points, but it's not when those valid points are when you're not making blanketed statements about one group of people. And then my thing is, when you're making these statements, why is it always about Black women?
I don't know.
He sounds a bit bitter.
Better.
He sounds a bit bitter. I mean, it's almost like how what's the guy that we all follow on Instagram that just Poppy?
Oh, Pastor Poppy.
Yes, he says something like, you know, when a man is constantly saying a woman doesn't deserve this, she don't deserve that, you know, run that man's facts. Like, who were you dealing with in the past? What, you know, quote unquote bad joint hurts your feelings? Like, what? Something happened with him. I don't know what happened with him, but you had 2 failed marriages. You talk about Black women as if, you know, we are so undeserving of certain things, and we put in more work than, I would say, hands down, any other race, and in regards to what we have to handle as a household, because some of us, even if you got a husband, a man, or what have you, or if you don't, there is still a lot to do as a woman. And he almost minimizes that and takes away the value from it, and I find it disgusting, personally. Is a nasty way to deal with the women of your culture. Like, you know, and at the end of the day, let's just be clear. Who wants to fuck Kevin Samuels anyway?
Girl.
Like, I'm just saying, I don't want to.
That may be why he's bitter.
Exactly. He don't bring nothing out of me that I don't see him and I'm like, ooh, I would love to get that dick. No. And I'm sure most women don't say that about him. He looks like he could be a cross-dressing woman, to be honest with you. And he's frail.
I'm frail.
So I'm Kevin Samuels really had talked about a lot, but it's like
his ego's definitely frail.
Yeah, and you're grading all these women in scales, but it's like, sir, the women you're grading wouldn't talk to you, fuck you, be with you. I mean, for real.
Yeah.
And half the women that call into his show, I can see if women called in because they wanted Kevin. Like, he was a prize. Yep. Nobody calls in because they want you. Right. You're not wanted anywhere you go except for the bullshit rhetoric you spill.
Yep.
And it's entertaining.
That's all it is.
But that's what it is at best. Yeah. And I think he actually, for maybe the dumber down men in the community that aren't woke about women, I think that he's really giving them bullshit excuses to not step up to the plate to do certain things for women. Yes. And, you know, the whole rhetoric of single mothers, or if you were in this relationship, you can't go to the next relationship. I can ask for whatever the fuck I want.
Period.
And if you don't want to give it to me, that's fine. Somebody else will. Or guess what? I don't need you to do it. I can do it for myself. So it's like, when it comes to him, all I see is a bitter, frail, small dick energy.
Yep. Old
man that I'll say boy. He's that I wouldn't fuck with somebody else's pussy.
No.
So
just trash. Like,
absolutely.
Well, I think you summed it up overall. I mean, I wish I had a church organ like.
He really is disgusting.
He is
as a human. And anybody that talks down to, I don't care what race you are, any woman that is holding down the household, taking care of them kids, whether the dad's around, not around, or not, you don't never dismiss her for her efforts or what she's doing, especially, you know, noted on Mother's Day weekend. So it's real. It's like, where was your mom? And what did she do? Beat you every day? Did she not love you enough? Like, somebody didn't hug him enough. And
even then, you're too old to be going around acting like that. Like, you need to heal yourself and figure things out and not putting it on other people. And you're not even keeping the same energy that you do with these people that call in as you do with Dr. Umar. He didn't say your name, but you know he's talking to you. Yep. Keep that same energy, but you don't have that same energy because he's a man coming to you and saying, nah, I'm not buying your bullshit.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
So... more to come. I really hope they have.
Team Umizoomi.
Team Umizoomi. First of all, I saw you say that. I was like, not Umizoomi. She ain't a mama. Okay. And next, Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight. Can somebody just...
Why is Floyd even fighting Logan Paul? I don't really understand why he's wasting his time with this. I don't know what he has to really gain.
Yeah.
And then the other Paul, what's his name? Jake Paul.
Jake Paul
and that hat thing, was goofy.
Yeah.
You about to get your ass beat over a hat.
And he tatted it. Did you see it?
Yeah.
He said, got your hat. Sir. Nobody's going to remember this in 3 weeks, and you got that tatted on forever.
Why?
Floyd, whoop his ass.
Please,
because I'm tired of
disrespectfully.
I honestly, you know what? I applaud Floyd for still getting, because he don't need the money.
No.
He don't need the money. But I will say that in our era, clout and attention sometimes is more important than money. And Floyd will always be relevant, but we haven't been talking about him too much lately. It's not like he's been in the news or doing anything. So this could be his way of being more public with himself again. Because like we said, he don't need the money. It's not like he needs to prove anything to anybody.
He was busy being a pop-up. It's just that he was talking crazy. You're not going to sit here and talk about me as if I still can't throw my hands.
But I just feel like, what's the point? Like you're gonna let him bait you into this? Why? You coming out of I thought you were in retirement. Yeah. Why are you coming out of this?
Because then that's really gonna be bad.
Because that's embarrassing. Now the black delegation.
Muscle memory is an impressive thing. I don't think Floyd would go in there and ever sign up for a fight as arrogant as he is.
I don't think anyone ever would think they would lose.
Anybody that's ever fought Mike Tyson had to think they were gonna lose.
I don't know.
Mike Tyson still can fight. I saw a few videos of him. I'm like, I don't care how old you get. That power, like you said, muscle memory is still always going to be there. However, all it takes is you to not pay attention or get caught up for 1 second and it's lights out.
Yeah, it's not always worth the risk of that. But I mean.
And to me, not to mention, we already know that there are significant things that happen with CTE. It's not just football players that get CTE. We understand too, hits to the head, boxing, that's a thing.
I mean, look at Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, why risk it? Why risk it?
I personally
could never date a boxer,
and I wouldn't put him in boxing. I wouldn't encourage that. But if he came to me and had a talent in UFC oriented fighting or boxing, it would scare me. But it's just like everybody's abilities are really like God's gift. Like when you look at some of the big fighters of our time, like Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd, Mayweather, they were built for this shit. Yeah. Now, does that mean I think he should come back out and risk something when he's already proved enough and he's retired? Yeah. But at the same point, the ego is a very crazy big thing. And the ego will make you do things that in normal circumstances you may not think to do them or want to do them, but it could be very overpowering to have to prove something to people. So I could see why he was baited in, but it's like
you're somebody's grandpa now.
Chill.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Floyd Mayweather should be doing. He don't need to fight no more. He don't need to do exhibition fights or anything like that. But at the same point,
now that you are, whoop his ass.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's gonna go out like Nate Robinson or no shit like that. You know what I mean? Like he'll be fine. I mean,
I couldn't think of the name just now. Yeah. If you don't be a meme, just don't become a meme. And whoever's having a fight party, hit us up because I'll bring snacks. But I don't want to pay for the
I'll bring drinks.
I was about to say I'm not paying to watch that shit.
No,
I'll catch the highlights on Instagram as it happens. To be honest, I mean, I'm not. I love Floyd, and my support goes out to him. But
I ain't paying for it. But if you're having a party, hit us up.
Yeah,
locally.
We'll come.
Unless you want to fly us out.
Oh, you trying to get food?
Or you could just, or we could just, you could just cash app us for the fight, and it's like
she always wants.
I love Cash App, Zelle, PayPal. I take all that. So you know what I mean.
We'll put your Cash App in the comment
at the bottom.
At the bottom, it's like you like to support.
And it's Mother's Day. You don't have to pay your mom or your baby's mom. Pay somebody else that's a mom.
I can't.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a campaign I'm willing to stand behind. Yes.
If you know a good mother, ask her Cash App and send her some money on Sunday. Bet you she'll talk to you. Bet you she be talking to you. She ain't talking to you right now. She'll talk to you. You know?
I will talk to you by saying thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll talk.
That's the extent of my conversation.
We're gonna say thank you. That's gratitude, though. That's
I just want to make sure that I don't want to set them up thinking I'm gonna have more words for them. It's gonna be thank you, period.
Thank you, period.
And if I really appreciate what you said, it might be an exclamation mark. I don't want you to get. I don't want them to think it's a whole conversation happening.
With her, it sounds like you just gotta say more. Make sure it's not a low amount, saying big amount of Cash App. Then maybe you'll get a thank you and how are you doing today? You know?
No, you're gonna get the exclamation mark. I just told you
some extra words.
2 if it's really good. Like you get an exclamation mark, but it's not gonna be anything besides. Don't set them up. Don't set them up for more conversation.
I'm not mean. I'm conversational. I'll at least ask you how your day is. You send me some money. How your day? I hope it's great. I hope it is blessed.
I didn't ask for you to send me the money, nor did I ask for a conversation. So thanks.
I mean,
free money.
Thanks.
I cannot.
Okay, so today's pull-up topic, as we told you in our commercial that you guys were very upset that it was only 5 minutes long, but we warned you before that started.
I was flattered though. Can I just say I was like, oh, y'all mad about the 5 minute? I felt a little JVP energy.
Yeah, don't you feel like you need to do that every now hump like it's gonna happen quarterly. 5 minutes.
I know they were just off this weekend. I missed them. So yeah.
See, we try and be the female JVP. What's good?
So expect that to happen a little bit more. We need to recharge. You have to be, ready, because we told you this is going to be a heavy few weeks of conversation. So today we're going to be talking about trauma. And the reason why you see Tianna here is because she's going to be our resident expert on how to deal with it and what is going on in the health. I'm going to say you're an expert, damn it. Yes, you're an expert.
I would say I'm a subject matter expert. That's what they call it in work environments.
I'm a SME. Okay,
I'm a SME.
She's a SME. Okay,
you trying to get shmoney?
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
So when you cash app her, put her for region SME services.
Yes, SME services,
Right.
subject matter expert. But yes, I came to talk to you guys today just about, maybe in Mental Health Month and trauma itself, and me being familiar with different kinds of trauma, and also having to resolve said traumas. It's been a cycle. It's been a journey. It's been a lot of different things, and I think when people think of healing, they just want to get right to the positive of it all, because going through it hurts.
Yeah.
But the only way out, as corny as it sounds, is through. I truly believe that. I believe in mental health therapy. I have spiritual beliefs that help me with different things I do. And I've also been in and out of therapy and counseling since I was 19 years old, and I'll now be 32. So it's been over 10 years. And I can honestly say it's one of the healthiest things I've ever done for myself. Just stepping out of my comfort zone to figure out why my mind wasn't working the way I needed it to. Was like the biggest step I've ever taken in my personal life to be a better person. Because if your mind's not right, everything else follows. Your body, your spirit, your parenting, your work ethic, So just to be the best person I could be, not only for myself, but for my son, I made a decision about a year ago to get, dive deep back into therapy, as well as deal with my spiritual practices. I do tarot card readings. I am a natural born empath, and I handle crystal healing. I do different smudging around my house outside of just regular therapeutic tools. As far as a psychiatrist, I have my own things I do, to keep me sane, that helps me, just be centered, because there's a lot of hecticness going on in the world. You have police brutality, you have racism, you have a lot of stuff, wide range, that already affects you. And then, I'm a single mom. So that's not always, easy. I love my kid. He's great, but even the relationship dissipating between me and his father, I had to learn what type of bond I had with his dad. And I didn't realize it was a trauma bond. And, I had to really figure out how to move past a trauma bond with someone I was so intimately connected with, due to the fact that we had a child together. So that was also a process, and with that process as well, I found out there were some things as far as inner childhood work I needed to do. So I think that anytime you don't feel okay, say something. And pick the right people to say it to as well. When I was going through some things last year, me and Shanice talked a lot, and she was always a very positive force in the fact that it was like, well, I don't want to have to worry about you. So if I don't answer the phone, just check in with me and still say you're okay. That was a big deal for me, because that lets you know your friends care. I might not be able to get to you at this moment, but I want to make sure everything is good with you, And it's good to have not only a mental health professional, if you need it, in your circle for therapy, but it's really advantageous to have Black women and positive Black women that are doing things that you are doing and aren't doing and haven't done yet, in your life. I call her often for parenting stuff, because I'm a new mom. My son's 3. I don't know it all, and sometimes it's mentally frustrating and draining and overwhelming not to know it all. And you guys are both moms, so I know it's, new stuff happens at all time.
Ooh, child.
It is a lot. It is a lot to do. But I think the biggest thing that I take away from my daily practices of what I do for me is that I'm never afraid to say if I'm hurting. You know, I'm never afraid to say this didn't work out for me and I'm really disappointed about it. How do we fix it? Okay. Like, you know, I'm not afraid to address those hard issues with myself. And I think some people are. And that's why they shy away from therapy. And maybe that's why when their friends say, how you doing? They'll just be like, oh, I'm good. I'm maintaining. You know, I don't ever want somebody to tell me they're maintaining. You know, I don't want to tell somebody I'm maintaining. I want to say, if something's wrong, I want to say, yo, something is really, really wrong. And I'm really upset and I'm hurting and I may need to talk to somebody. You know what I mean? I think that everybody should have the safest space with their friends group, with their family, you know, and with themselves to recognize when help is really needed. You know,
I definitely agree, and I think you kind of stepped on my toe with that.
I'm about to say the hit dog about the
First of all, I didn't even look over at her.
No, I saw her look at you. I was looking at her, so
I wasn't going to point, but I was looking at my van on like, sis.
So I'm definitely one to say I'm fine, and I say I maintain it all the time when people ask me, especially people I'm just like, I don't even whatever. But I think what it is like I know I have a family and I know I have friends. With me, it's just me not trusting myself to allow them to take care of it. Yeah. Because I'm very much so I can do it by myself because I've had to be that. So when it comes to my feelings or it comes to my emotions, like when you ask I'm a Cancer, my emotions are very like the other day I had to say like, okay, since you're doing trauma, be real. I am a sensitive person.
But being vulnerable is like a superpower, you know?
And I understand that because I'll say to my girl, like, you should share your feelings. I'm like, oh, you the kettle today. Okay. But cool. So I think with me, as I get older, I'm willing to share my emotions, but it still is that like, I'm going to share like 10%. Yeah. And then maybe in a week I'll share like, nah, this is really what happened. Okay. This is really, really what happened. But you're absolutely right. But I think and trauma shows up in, you know,
every
all different
area.
situations. When you say like trauma bond, to me, for most people who don't think of trauma bond, to me, I think, or that saying, PTSD. You don't have to have PTSD just because you were in the military. And I think that's when that term came out the most.
I have PTSD. I will sit here and I was never in the military. You know, I have PTSD. And, you know, Shanice pointed it out a while ago. She didn't call it PTSD, but she was like, maybe you're a little jaded. You know, my last relationship with my child's father did give me PTSD. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy in a sense. And it was toxic in a sense. Right. But we bonded over sublimely emotional things. Right. My father had just died and he stepped in and was like this, everything I thought, you know, I needed him to be. And then we have a child, I see a whole different side of a human I didn't even know existed. And the bond that I built off my trauma with the man I thought I knew, he became someone I didn't know. And I didn't know how to cope with it because I was so bonded. Everything about my dad's grief and getting over it was connected to him. And it really made it harder to walk away from that situation when I needed to. And, you know, even like inner childhood stuff. I love my mother to death. She is an immaculate of sorts of women, you know, all very special lady. But there's things that we don't get along about, and there are certain things in my childhood that she will not address and admit to or talk about. So it's still my job to address it and heal myself. She may not want to heal with me, but I have to heal for myself because I don't want those inner childhood lingering traumas to lap over into my parenting, which oftentimes as adults that don't get it fixed, especially our parents, that generation, that's what we see with our parents that are in the 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever. And then it trickles down to us. We didn't resolve it. Then it could trickle down to the kids. And next thing you know, you raising a chronically dysfunctional line of people.
Or people who are constantly repressing their emotions. Because I often think too, sometimes things happen in childhood. And when you think back as an adult, you're like, nobody ever really talked to me about this life-changing event that happened. We all just are like, okay, this thing happened and we moved on. And no one says anything. And it's just like, but why though? Why don't we talk about it? Why don't we say anything? And sometimes it's because maybe the adults also don't know how to handle it.
Because,
and they don't know how to
if their parents didn't tell them, you know, how they're going to tell you. But this is where I always say, it's never too late to learn something, and it's never too early to teach somebody.
Right.
Yep.
I'm 32 years old. I ain't gonna mention my mom's age because that's rude. But however old she is older than me, and I'll verbally not chin check her in a negative way, but I'll emotionally chin check her sometimes. Like, listen, all this shit you did wasn't all the way okay.
Right.
I'm not mad about it. But can we talk about why you felt it was okay to do? And, you know, those conversations are some of the hardest conversations I've had with her. And she's not a break the walls down type of chick. So you really are sitting there etching with a hammer, trying to just get it, you know, get some type of semblance of answers.
Right.
And it can be hard on me, but I think I've become so much stronger in who I am and authentically who I am. Because I always say how I feel. Mm-hmm. You know, and as a child coming up, it was like, be quiet. Don't tell what's going on in the house. Don't say how you feel. Mm-hmm. And when I turned 18, I moved out on my own. And I never looked back on telling people how I felt. Like, you know, I met Shanice when I was like 13, 14 years old, becoming a freshman in high school. And even then, I was a giddy, vocal person. I had to make her be my friend.
Yo, this girl be telling these lies. I don't lie to the internet. What do the kids be saying? No cap, don't cap.
No, really. I sat down next to her on the bus and I stalked her. She wouldn't talk to me. She kept acting like I was a bother.
Look at that.
I know, years later.
Perseverance, kids. If there's not a lesson in today, look.
No, because I chose her to be my friend, and I said I think she's pretty cool, and she was like, I don't know about you for a while. And, you know, but even back then, I was a very, like, she would look at me like an alien sometimes, but I was mad vocal about everything I felt and what was going on in my head. And some people were just like, but I didn't care because it felt better to speak on it and be open than holding something in. Like, I'm honestly, I'm a horrible liar. I am a horrible liar, but it's because the truth always is worse than a fucking lie anyway. You know, and being authentic is always easier than lying.
Yeah,
it is.
You know, so being emotionally authentic, I think, is the key point of getting to what is wrong. Like, some people aren't authentic with themselves in their alone time. So if they try, how you gonna figure out what's wrong?
Ooh.
You know, if you know
when you ain't right within. Come on,
and that's where journaling comes in. You know, diaries. You know, I'm a journal person myself, but. You know what? Also, music is life to me, you know?
Same.
So it's like, if I'm going through a really crazy day and I don't want to feel a certain type of way, you know, the Isley Brothers, For the Love of You, got a real sweet spot for me. I don't know why. Frankie Beverly and Maze, obviously, it's everybody's sweet spot. But I listen to...
You got an old soul. I was about to say.
I listen... and John Coltrane. I love jazz. I love Miles Davis. You know, my dad raised me up.
There's another one out here.
Like me. Yeah, I was about to say, because I get sad and listen to the Backstreet Boys and clean the house.
Yeah,
it makes pop makes me feel better. So whenever I'm sad,
Swift.
It's honestly I was about to say Taylor Swift, because if I am upset, I either really just want to stay in this emotion, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go listen to like the emo stuff that I was because when I was a kid, I was listening to Paramore and Sum 41 and Linkin Park and Good Charlotte. That was my shit. I still listen. I'm just like, that's still my shit. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I just want to feel it. I just want to stay there. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? No, we about to pick this shit up. I'm about to listen to everybody and fuck all these people.
I think it's a combination of both. I think you should allow yourself literally 10 minutes.
I don't even think I listen to that music. I literally make myself sadder to make myself feel better.
You know, sometimes
and then it turns to anger, and I'm like, whoop that trick.
Yep.
And I'm like,
that's where you go with it.
I get
you listen to whoop that trick.
No, but I'm saying like that's
what in the hell?
The mad,
what's going on?
I go from sad to mad.
I listen to Waka Flocka or DMX if I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, or maybe some Sky's the Limit and Drop the World by Lil Wayne.
I like movies with music.
Oh yeah, that is the music. What you call it? Yeah.
So that's
why she goes around saying "whoop that trick."
That's what it's I like movies with music. But yeah, I go from really sad to angry. Then I just wake up one day like, Better now.
I go to Cardi. After that, I go to Cardi because I'm like, you know what? You don't know who the fuck.
Or Meg. I mean, I do go to Meg a lot.
You leave his balls on.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't care old school. I'll listen to TLC Creep if I'm feeling real.
Yes.
Real oh, so that's how you wanted to do it. Don't even worry about it. I'll throw that on.
Don't even worry about it, sweetheart.
Yeah, don't even because I'm not worried about you. We over here worried about all the new things. But I do like Drake is obviously a constant. But you know what? Like when I'm really in my bag, like I listen to people that when I came up and my mom or my dad was chilling, that they listen to. Like I still love Belle Biv DeVoe.
Mm-hmm.
I still love Mariah Carey's old shit. I listen to that very frequently. Tony Braxton, Don't Let Me Be in a Sad Unbreak My Heart. Yeah, that's
how you be listening to Lauryn Hill every other day.
Yes, Miseducation. Absolutely. When it hurts so bad, why does it feel so good? Shit, I listen to that song my whole last breakup. Why does it hurt so bad, but it feels so good? I still don't have the answer to the question, but I still listen to the song on repeat. Like, you know, but Lauryn Hill's album, I will say, just side note to the queen, that album got me through every breakup I've ever had. Every breakup. And then still had me for faith, hoping for love at the end when she's singing to D'Angelo and shit. I mean, nothing even matters. You know?
That's on my heartbreak playlist, yeah.
Your heartbreak.
I tell you, I
nothing even matters.
I'm my emotions.
I mean, I can see the Heartbreak Hotel. That's a real big classic for me. Like, I love Heartbreak Hotel. I love Faith Evans. I love, was it CeCe Winans that was on that shit too? Or was it the other one? What's the other chick? Not CeCe Winans. She was just on the Breakfast Club.
Kelly Price.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful Kelly Price.
Oh, so tired of the way.
Oh my god.
Look at us. Okay.
Your playlist is real different.
I think her playlist is a little bit more upset than mine is.
I live in my emotions. I get mad and I get happy. It's not normal.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
And then I'll go on like a Biggie Tupac gangster rap binge, like where I'm listening to NWA and Fuck the Police for like 3 days. Like I'm really old school with my shit. I still love like old Tribe Called Quest records and what's the chick that I love? Do the Right Thing. Then get down. Then you know, when she dancing and shit.
No.
Rosie Perez when she dancing for Do the Right Thing when the movie come on, it's like bum. It is. Would it not Run DMC with the Public Enemy? Okay. Fight the Power.
Oh,
got you.
Like when I'm in a righteous mood and shit, and I'm trying to get my hustle on, I listen to shit like that. Like. I listen to old school hip hop and rap. That shit really gets me going. What do you say? It's provocative. It gets the people going.
And see, that's good, but that's also good. You know what will make you feel better, or you know what will take.
Yeah.
You are aware of your emotions. Again, emotional intelligence. You are aware with.
You know what song is the worst song ever created for anybody that was sad, and they think it's a positive song? Is that Suicide song by Logic?
Oh, I don't listen. I don't fuck with Logic.
Listen, I don't fuck with him either, but that shit was on the radio, right? And if you're in a sad mood, why would you want to listen to a song that says, I don't want to be alive? I don't want to be alive.
Yeah, Logic is weird.
I swear, as long as that's not when you're sad.
No. Like, I don't like to take it there. Yeah, I just like it to get me on the edge.
He went
and then
there.
I'm like, let's go bring it back. Because you know what, I can't cry sometimes, so sometimes I need something to get me there, and I'm like, all right, you don't let it tear drop.
I don't have that.
Now it's time to I used to not be able to cry, but you know what? After my dad died, I ain't gonna lie, I cry for everything now. I cry watching good movies, you know. But
I do know each other.
Yeah, because I cried at Grey's Anatomy. I was just crying yesterday.
I don't watch that.
Whatever reason.
And ain't that fine ass boy leaving the show anyway?
R.I.P. Jesse.
Yeah, I'm like, what's that?
Oh, they killed him off?
No, he's like
he's
just
leaving though.
You know they're gonna kill him off. They kill everybody off.
No, he's leaving in a happy way, but I'm still sad.
No.
I enjoy his eyes, but I don't watch that show, you know, but I do enjoy his face.
So if you see this, Jesse, you can slide in our DMs. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Just in case you're grieving as well. It's okay.
Sounds like you're traumatized about his leaving. How appropriate for this conversation.
Maybe you guys can start a trauma bond, you know?
Just
over Grace.
It's like he's in a happy home, I guess. But if you're not,
Taylor Page, you know.
Happy home. Oh yeah, don't he got a girlfriend?
Yeah, Taylor Page.
That's not my business.
They're not married.
That's not my business.
No, they're not.
It's like, just kidding.
We don't condone that kind of stuff.
Oh no, I ain't talking about creeping. I am not talking about stealing nobody's man. We are black women that do not steal. I do not believe in stealing by man. I'm not saying that at all. But I was just saying, you single until you marry, okay? Because the government.
That's what your taxes say.
Yes, you're single till you married.
You ain't gotta tell me. I know.
On the government form, ain't nothing for I got a boyfriend. It don't say that shit on there. It ain't no checkbox for that.
Just Mike the Poet said, no more boyfriends. That's another topic. Anyway, so trauma.
I know.
So yeah, I would say the fact that you like, we can sit here and say we know what to do when our emotions are out of whack. Like if we want to feel sad, I know how to make myself feel sad. If we want to feel happy, we know. But the fact that a lot of people out there are not aware of that, and I think our generation is doing a good job of it because I think we just woke up one day like this is not normal. Like people talk about generational curses. I think in the Black community, mental health has been a generational curse from the very beginning. We came over here as slaves. There was no therapist back then to say, well, how do you feel? Did you feel good in the field today?
Right. And even when therapists existed, they weren't open widely to us.
Exactly.
That wasn't something
or
we could
if we
afford.
went to a therapist, it was somebody that didn't look like us.
Right.
And the
for
fact
the longest time.
And that's not comfortable.
Exactly. It's like, I want to talk about how I hate white people, white lady.
Right. How?
All right. Like,
yeah, I've switched for a white therapist. My therapist now currently is Black.
Yeah.
Thank God. But I've been in therapy over 10 years.
Yeah.
And I've had one Black therapist. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
And I'm the white people know this to y'all. Y'all helped. Y'all went to school, got y'all degrees, y'all did good shit. But it's just something that going to somebody that looks like me, who knows maybe my struggles, when I tell her about how I feel, when I might be felt looked over or slighted at work in certain situations, you know what I mean? She understands, you know? So.
And to me, I think that that's very logical. The same way that, even think about when we do our hair. I don't know about y'all, but my hairstylist gotta be Black.
Caucasian person.
I'm not. I don't
suave in my hair.
No,
or head and shoulders.
Just because you're not gonna understand.
I use
shampoo is not shampoo.
Hairspray.
That's different than shampoo.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to have a pause for a second.
When she said I use suave, and I was,
deodorant.
You need to pause.
Because
I use suave hairspray. They have some good hairspray.
I mean, but that's different than shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah.
Spray. Okay.
I try to use it with a Shea Moisture.
Yeah. Oh, they came out with more product geared towards Black people.
Yeah.
Because they realized the stuff we have ain't gonna work.
And honestly, we're the biggest consumers of hair products and all that shit anyway. It's statistically proven, you know. So they did themselves a favor catering to us anyway. Because all we're gonna do is, Black women have to have their hair done.
Yeah, but the same way that we only entrust our hair with certain people because that's what gives us comfort.
Right.
We gotta feel okay with entrusting our hearts and our brains to those people who make us feel comfortable.
Exactly.
And I think that I don't know that I would feel comfortable speaking to a therapist that wasn't Black. I think that I could get through it, but would it be the same kind of bond that I need?
It's definitely different.
Yeah, because the one therapist I went and saw, it was like I needed her to say, because she was like, sis.
Right.
I like, yes.
And I need that.
Like, I need you to talk to me like I'm not dumb. Don't dumb it down to me. Don't speak to me in such a patronizing way that I just feel like, oh, little Black girl, this is your issue. This is what's going on. Here's some medicine and we'll figure it out. Like, no, talk to me and be like, here's the real shit going on.
Yep.
This is how you need to handle it. And it's just like every time I would leave out of there, I mean, sometimes I came there worse than what it was because it wasn't just for me, but it would be like, okay, like, no, I needed to hear that.
Right.
And I'm not getting that anywhere else because, again, how you said, the older generations, they're just basically, well, you got to get through it. It's all right. You'll be all right.
Everybody goes through this.
Or, me being just pray through
and I hate hearing that.
I know.
Yeah. I think the worst thing I've ever heard is, well, you're not the first Black woman to go through this.
Right.
Motherfucker, I don't care if I'm the last, the 50th, the 25 millionth. I have right reserved to feel the way I feel. And I have rights reserved to get those feelings taken care of.
This is my issue. This is not my issue that I'm also bringing 50 other people to the table with. I'm bringing my current
And I love all Black
Yeah.
women, but let's be clear. I don't give a goddamn about fucking 50 other Black women with the same issue. I care about how we're going to fix my specific issue. And even though we might be 50 Black women with the same issue, we all have different personalities.
Yep.
Right.
You know, me and her may have the same problem. Me and Jen may have one of the same issues with something. But guess what? She has a different personality temperament. She's going to handle it different than I handle it.
Yep.
So you need people to be invested and not only to your race, but to who you are individually. And the one thing I will say about some white psychiatrists I've been to is they do look at you from a grouped perspective.
Yeah.
And they give you these analyses, do the statistics and shit they think they know instead of fully listening. I did have one therapist, I can say honestly, I don't know if this nigga ever listened to shit I said. I don't know if he ever listened to the goddamn thing I said. I talked a lot. I don't know if he heard me. I know he offered me pills. I know he sent me on my way. And I knew he told me to make a follow-up in 2 weeks. But did I ever feel relieved from those appointments? Did I ever feel less stressed? No.
And that's all for what?
Yeah, so I left him quickly. And the medication he gave me, I felt he misdiagnosed the medication I needed at the time, so I didn't take that shit either.
And that's another thing. When you are not familiar with the culture or not listening to what people are saying, misdiagnosis happen, especially in kids nowadays.
Absolutely.
Not all kids have ADHD. Maybe they just have a household that right now is not conducive to their learning environment and what they need. So do the work, especially if you're getting the paperwork. So you went to school, they gave you the tools. Do the work and figure out what that person needs. They're coming to you for help. Somebody's mental state is not just like going to the car dealership and be like, I heard a sound under the hood. What do you think it could be?
Right.
Like, you're not a mechanic. Do the work and help, period. But like I said, I think that we are doing a good job, one, by having this conversation, two, by continuing to reach out and knowing other people, because we listen to each other and knowing how other people feel. And we're teaching our kids that same thing. So hopefully going forward, it won't be a generational thing. Hopefully.
I mean, that's all you could do. I mean, I will say for myself, when it comes to mental health, period, the biggest takeaway I've had from my journey is you have to be very proactive in your own mental health. So while you can go find a Black therapist, you can go talk to your friends, nobody is with you every day, all day, except you. So when it comes to your own feelings, that's when it's hard for people, though. The hardest things I've seen people do as far as express themselves emotionally is not be real with me. It's be real with themselves. Because you might only tell me 80% of the story, but that 20%, that could be a big key 20% of what the fuck is really going on. And I don't know that 20%, but you do. And then what can I... Even though I'm trying to be helpful, I may have experience in some ways to help you. I can't help you because I don't know that 20%, but you can help yourself. Because you can address that with yourself. Even if you're not, like you said, you're not ready to maybe tell somebody the story, that's fine. Write the whole story down, though, so at least there's a way to get it out. You know, and at least there's a way for you to keep a documented history on your own emotions. Like, you know what, this is where I was and this is where I came from. If I go back and look at my journal today from a year ago, I've moved monumental mountains mentally. And it's not because I was all fucked up before. I had a lot going on. I was a new mom, single mother, stressed, had a household, and I have anxiety issues. And I had, postpartum depression lasted for about a year for me. My son is 3. So I was going through all of that, plus underlying anxiety issues, plus being in a trauma-bonded relationship. And when I finally got away from all of that and really addressed what my problem was like, you give so much of yourself. And what do you do it for? Are you getting it back? Or do you love yourself more than you did yesterday because you did this for that person? So I didn't become more selfish. I just became more selfish with my feelings. Like, if this does not serve a good feeling for me, I'm just going to walk away from it. And before, it was like, oh, if I could help that person, know if I could do something, fuck my feelings. And I had to learn, especially being a mom, doing all this, I can't say fuck my feelings. But I have to really address myself.
The same thing when they say you're on the plane, you got to put your mask on first. You can't keep pouring into other people and not ever have anyone pour back into you. Because when you're empty and you need to be filled back up, who's pouring back in? If you gave everything that you had to give. So you have to make sure, and it's not selfish to take care of yourself. And I think that often as moms, we forget that. We think that the kids always have to come first. The kids do always have to come first in terms of making sure that their basic needs are taken care of. But sometimes you do need a break. Sometimes you do need to just focus on what you need in this moment, just so that I can be better tomorrow. And if that means I got to go ahead and figure out what I need to do today so that I can be better tomorrow, that's what needs to to happen, and that does not make you a bad mom.
No, absolutely.
And I think that we all often have mom guilt.
Yes.
Mom guilt is a real thing.
And then don't let somebody in the family or somebody that you know be like, oh, well, you should just be with your child all the time. First of all, shouldn't nobody have to be with their child all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't, just because that's what you did in 1986, I don't give a damn. Maybe they didn't preach about self-care in 1986.
And that's not good for them either,
you know?
because then it gives them separation anxiety when you do have to be apart.
Mm-hmm.
Because every child has to be apart from their child.
Yeah.
Every child has to be apart from their parent. Because they go to school, they do stuff. They
Right.
have to be away from you. So it's that part. And here's the thing. When I say I need a mom break, it's because I've literally went, let's just say, 90 straight days, no break.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I do need a break. I do need to reset. And I do need for one night to not worry about my kid, worry about who I am as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just doing normal shit. I don't have to go out and turn up. I'm not kind of at that phase anymore, but it's definitely like, I want to go to sleep
Right.
and not worry about anything.
I want to go to Costco by myself.
Yeah, it could be something very simple. Like, you know, I go buy crystals and shit when I'm alone.
Yeah.
It's something I do that makes me happy. You know, like, I love taking my son to the park. But one of my favorite things I used to do before I had a kid is go take peaceful walks and journal at the park. That's something that I can't do on a regular because it ain't peaceful when you take your kid to the park.
At all.
You know, so it's just even the small things. Like, never discount how much self-care counts. Like, don't ever sell yourself short or cheat yourself. Just like respectfully, and we don't talk about the podcast, but Justin LeBoy, like you said, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. I am not cheating myself. Okay. Like, I am treating myself, and I every moment I get, like, after we wrap this up, I'm probably going to go take a little mom break. I might only have 2 hours, but guess what? It's going to be 2 hours that I'm going to do something and my child's not involved.
I don't think people realize how much 30 minutes
means.
Yes.
Like,
even like for the simple fact, have y'all seen the new trend now where it's like the two parents run the opposite way? All the damn kids for the most part run for their mom. Why? Well, he's right there. Go. Like,
when they get older, they do the same thing.
They do the same thing. Like, literally, like, my daughter could be with her dad. Mom, question.
Why are you asking me?
Where is your dad? Right here.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
I don't know you till Sunday. What are you doing? Like, is it an emergency? No. All right, well, ask your dad.
Yeah.
But that's it. Mom breaks, like you said, are needed. 2 hours, girl. You want to hurry up? Okay.
I think it, like, seriously.
No, but it's important.
2 hours kidless though. That could be 2 groceries. That could be 2 trips.
That's a week of vacation for normal people.
I mean? Like,
that's a week of vacation.
I could get so much done in 2 hours without them.
Yes.
It might not be like shit I want to do. I don't necessarily love going to the grocery store, but guess what? I love going out to the grocery store when I don't got my kid.
And you got add
and
don't touch that. Don't ram the cart in the back of my ankle for the 12th time. Like,
I can't, and then the checkout line, he thinks that I'm taking the goldfish away, so he snaps at the checkout line, then needs the goldfish open. Got goldfish all over my car, chips, and I ain't even got home yet.
And that's traumatic too.
It really is. And then people looking at you at the store like, well, what's wrong with your baby? What's wrong with you? Shit. Ain't nothing wrong with my baby. You hungry.
All right. So our responses to trauma. When we were doing the research, we found 4 different ways, and I'm sure there's many other ways, but you know, I'm all about alliteration, so it spoke to my spirit. The 4 F's. So fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. I'm just going to read some descriptions of it. So, and then maybe we can try to see which one closely resembles us. So fight, confront the threat. You cry, you feel like hitting someone or something. Your jaw is tight. You talk to people with anger in your voice. You feel like stomping or kicking. You feel intense anger, and your stomach feels like it's in knots.
I feel triggered.
I didn't look up. Flight. Run from danger. Signs you're in flight mode. Your legs are restless. You feel numbness in your extremities. Your eyes dilate and dart around. You're fidgety. You're tense. You feel trapped. You focus on tasks to avoid uncomfortable feelings. Freeze. Unable to respond. You feel cold. You have numbness in your body. You feel stiff or heavy. You have a tense sense of dread. Your heart is pounding. Your heart rate may decrease, and you feel yourself tolerating the stress. Or fawn. Your acquaintance to threat. So you comply with the request of others. You do not question others. You're overly helpful. You are more concerned with making someone else happy. You are constantly trying to please people, and you have trouble saying no to others.
I mean, personally, I've had all 4. It really has depended on the situation I've been in and the person, if there was another person involved in the situation. I've had definitely situations where I wanted to fight, where I did fight. Because, you know, in those predicaments, you're just so hurt. And you want somebody, especially if it's somebody that hurt you, you want them to feel what they did.
Right.
So you want to get that pain to them any way you can, whether it's conversation, whether it's, you know, knocking them the fuck out, which isn't favorable. You go to jail. I don't advise it. But, you know, it's really, it for me, it depends on how that person reacted to me. The reaction they would have got before. Okay. These days, of course, you know, because we all try to change and evolve, I try not to have any of those reactions. And if anything, if I got to be silent about some shit, I just try to be silent until I could correlate in my head how this logistically could go. And I can have a conversation about it. But I've been a people pleaser too. Like in incidents. Okay, so when my mom and my baby dad, for instance, they both hardcore narcissists. It's on the record. I don't give a fuck, y'all. And
she said, "Catch me outside."
Yeah, I've had that what is it called? An fawn. I've had a fawn reaction with them at times as well because you get tired of fighting that person, and you don't want to run because you love them. So it's like, well, what do I do with you people? And then next thing you know, you try to become a people pleaser just to make the conversations easier and make the fight go away. And you finally realize when you're fawning that it's never going to stop because it's not really just about you. It's about what the other person is bringing to the situation that's creating the response for you. So sometimes the safest thing to do, I'm not going to say it's good to fight, but sometimes the best thing to do is not run off in fear, but walk away. Because not everybody is compatible with having a conversation to resolve shit. And the next thing you know, you're triggered. Yep. They're triggered. They're saying something else. Yeah, go figure. You was the trigger, motherfucker. Like, shit does happen like that.
I cannot.
That's all it is.
Why is that that was my last song? Wow. Okay.
It is. It's a great song.
It is
a great song.
She speaks to my soul.
I love None of My Concern as well, but you know, it really is. I think it really has a lot to do with the person you're in an argument with, and I think it has a lot to do with how you feel towards that person. Because some people, like for instance, I might run from a conversation with my mom just because I ain't trying to get real disrespectful and crazy. Whereas somebody else, they trigger me, it may be a fight response. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it depends on who's done it, but I will say that all four of them are not ideal. They're not necessarily healthy ways to deal with things. And if you feel like you have to do any of those four things, I advise you to leave whoever the fuck is giving you those feelings alone. I mean, that was the best advice I've ever gotten. You know, dismiss what is not, dismiss what is not serving you. You know, if something is not serving your life, I don't care if it's a person or a career, just leave it alone. Like, that's the best advice I've ever gotten. Let go and put down things that don't serve you. So if I feel like a conversation is about to go left to the point that you want to get me a little outside my character, I'm going to have to bring out that other bitch. Danielle might come out. We don't know who's going to pop out.
Danielle.
But she's not really a nice bitch. Whoever is about to come out, she's coming out because I feel like scared and I need to be protected. Yeah. So that other side of me is going to come out. And she's a bitch. And I have a really hard time tucking her back in. So I don't want that to happen, right. So if I could say to somebody like, let's not go there before it goes there. That's better for me because I have a very vicious mouth and I know that. And I don't like being malice towards people or wanting any, to hurt somebody verbally. It's happened because of the circumstances and being triggered, but you really can't. It is so toxic to do any of the four things, especially fighting. You can't
Well, Shanice, you want to tell us?
I was about to say, just talk about me. I don't give a damn.
About segues.
Because
what would you say would be your response?
Mine is fight, and I'm sorry. I am toxic. I don't give a fuck because I feel like people play with me, and I'm not to be played with.
You tell you
once you're, to me, I also feel like the difference is I don't chase after nonsense. Mm-hmm. So if you bring me some bullshit, just know everybody gets one. Everybody gets one.
Right.
Once you use the one, that's it forever. I can't put it. I would like to say that she doesn't come out often, it's underlined, like under the surface. It's always. So I do try. I try not to make it my default thing.
Candyman over and over. Why y'all doing it? She told y'all don't say her name.
I'm sorry, and I know it's not always the right thing to do. And to be honest, it's probably fight until I can't fight no more, and then I'm like, okay, fuck this shit.
Yeah,
so now I'm getting all my stuff.
That's where
and now
forgiveness come in.
No, I'm not forgiving.
I know.
No.
I just was throwing.
I'm not.
Yeah, I just threw it out there because
I'm not forgiving. Because sometimes people, you got what you asked for. Like, you kept poking the bear.
Yeah.
You wanted this response.
Look what you made me do in that song.
And then I get mad because I'm like, why would you even trigger me like this? Yeah. You know I'm trying to be a better person.
I believe that to be very true, but at the same point, Shanice,
it's not right. I know.
She's mean.
I need to talk.
My friend is not mean.
I'm gonna talk to somebody about.
She's mean sometimes. I mean, listen, anybody that I had to make be my friend has to be a little mean. Just because I'm a really outstanding person. Like, I get along with most everybody. I'm nice. You know, I think I'm pretty fucking funny. You know? Yeah, so I don't know what her problem was. She was mean. But, you know, she's not. Once you do get close with her and she cares, you know, and I think it's a beautiful thing. It's friends. She's not even accepting any more applications. She barely fucking
We're not accepting any more applications for her.
Yeah, she barely took mine. I'm not saying. Listen, Shanice doesn't want new friends. She's really actually terrible at making them. But. You know, I think that a little flexibility of forgiveness can go a long way. Nobody's handing out an application for her. I'm just want to make sure. I know. I told everybody she was mean like 3 times just so they don't.
Some people like that though. They can be like, oh,
weird niggas. We don't have time for that.
Some people like that. You know,
like, I do feel like I do need to figure out better ways to handle it because I think that I do a better job of not being so easily triggered. But the problem is, once I am triggered, now we at war. Like, now we're at war, and I'm going to say whatever I need to say because, why? This is what you wanted, right? I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this.
I understand. It's something you just have to learn to curb. Because my most toxic trait used to be go kill yourself. Like, if somebody pissed me off, I'd be like, go kill yourself.
But you know
what? Fuck around and die.
So I don't say that. Usually I just get to the point where I'm like, I'm just like, oh, okay. So what are we doing? We're not doing this no more? That's fine. No, I don't care. I don't need you. That's the next thing. On, yeah, that's my customer service voice. I know. I'm like,
what do I do? Okay. Guys.
I'm like, all right.
Not everything. Not every situation though does mean you gotta be forgiving. I think that there can be times probably that you could be a little bit more less rigid.
Yeah.
About how you feel. I think that's the best way to put it.
That's true.
A little less rigid about that stance. But it happens to everybody. Like, I'm not as nice of a person as I used to be. Not because anything bad like happened or I got used, but it was like, is it serving me to be nice to all these people?
A major thing.
Because it's a lot of energy that go out to just, being with people and being there. And, I remember I used to be the go-to friend before I had a kid. Don't have a problem. Tianna's going to fix it. I can't fucking imagine. I wish you would call me and if you got a fucking husband or a nigga, bitch, that motherfucker better be on death's door. Why are you calling me? Why? I love you. I will always preface it with that.
I'm the mean one.
I'm about to say.
No, it's just I got too much shit going on.
And if you ain't on that bus now, what was going on?
Exactly.
And so you call the school district?
Yes, I don't know that.
Back Turbo. Run them takes back.
I just really cannot if it's not serving me, I really leave it alone because you know how easy it is to get triggered. I mean, when the shit isn't doing nothing for you.
Yeah.
When something's not doing nothing for you, and then it's like in your face, that shit is annoying. It is triggering. It's like a broke man. They can't do shit for you, but they get in your face trying to get free puss.
No, I can't even say you're wrong.
But
it's just like broke man.
So Jen, what's your response?
I'm more of a flight.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because I just be like, all right, well, cool, I'm done. That's all I got.
That doesn't resolve anything.
It doesn't. I absolutely know that. But me, it's like I know I can get to fight because I feel like when you say like the heart racing, my heart's not racing because I don't think I can handle it. My heart's racing because I know my 10, and by now I've already kind of like packed everything down to not get to 10. So now I was already at 9.99, and maybe get to 10. So my heart does this, and then my ears start ringing, and then that's when I tend to black out. So I just say, cool. And I go that way. Yeah. And then if you want to resolve it later and have a conversation with me, cool. I'm not going to be the one to bring it up.
To me,
I'm one person to be like, I accept the apology that you're not going to give me. And I'm okay with that. And I know it's not okay. And I'm working on it.
I think if you care about the other person involved, there can be some discretion in who talks to who. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I care about me. I care about me more.
I had to learn that because before I was fawn. Yeah. I'm not going to say no. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to be the best person I could be for you. And I'm going to rah, everything for you. But that made me miserable. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to freeze because you're not going to have me a deer in the headlights and I don't know what to do. I know what to do. You're not going to like it. I'm not going to like it. But somebody, I'd rather me be happy. Yep. I'm not going to be in fight. I got to keep, I just don't feel like I hate fighting.
The question I pose to you is, aren't there always problems that are better to resolve than flight from?
There is.
There are problems that you definitely need to book it. But some problems, if you give it some air to breathe, you should address it. Especially if it's with somebody important to you or,
I'm good for that now. Not so much back then. And now when I say I'm good for that now, this is within the last, we'll say about 6-7 months. Because I'm good for saying, I don't care. Yeah. Now I'll be like, I guess I can't kill you mentally. All right. What's up? What do you want to have a conversation about? Cool. Sure. Fine. All right. It's not working for me still at this conversation, but I appreciate us communicating. I'm still wanting to go that way. Or it's to be like, you know what? You're not on the friend level, but I can say hi and I wish you death. Sure. I can keep it cute and keep it cordial. But I can't fall on it. Like you said, none of these are healthy, but I choose me every single time. And if that means I'm just going to leave, then bye.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I say that there's always certain things that come up though that, you look back on later and you be like, it didn't have to be like that. We could have just talked. You cold-blooded. Because let me tell you something.
No, because literally, like I said, it takes me a lot to get to even that level of saying a flight. I can pack it in and pack it in and pack it in and pack it in and still smiling and going about my day. But it could be something so stupid and simple that can send me over the edge and truthfully, I'm that person that already in my mind, I have disconnected like weeks before. So when that last straw has come, it don't even bother me no more. So I definitely can just be like, let me just pack this.
I think that you could always leave for flight and then still, have a resolution. Because just because you have a resolution with somebody, it doesn't mean the situation continues. It doesn't mean that you still whatever. It just means that you're
come check on me in 6 months.
Yeah, like you're willing to. You willing to
anything? Come check. Yeah,
I got a friend / whatever you want to call it. Used to be friends, now associate more so people. Ain't no bad blood. I don't got no beef with you. I'm not mad at you. We just may not have anything that serves each other at this point. And I'm not into no relationships that don't serve me no higher purpose. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's no diss to them. It's just. Hey, it's not as, necessary. This relationship is not necessary to my life as it used to be. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to know when to be woman enough in your own head to say, is this preservable for me? You know what I mean? Does this friendship matter? Is this person, important? And it always don't feel like it's not at the moment.
No,
but
then I feel like when I'm trying to, and I'm having this conversation with you that I didn't want to have to begin with, and you're pissing me off. Yes. So I really should have just left it where it is. And now all you're doing is saying everything you have said before in the previous conversation. I heard that.
Well, that's where maturity come in. Some people aren't mature enough to handle having a resolution conversation.
That when I was like,
but that's not you flighting though. That's not you flighting. That's you stepping to the situation to resolve it, and the person just genuinely was not ready to resolve it.
I had already. You know what I mean? I had already
you flight, it came back. Right. But that second time is not taking flight. It's really like, okay, the person
that's
is
confirmation that I had my ticket.
The person wasn't on some shit that was gonna be okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had some arguments, whether I started them or other people started them, that I was like, I don't know if I needed to go there like that. So I might not be apologetic about anything I said except that 2% of bad shit. I might only be sorry about that 2%, but I'm the type of person that I'm gonna call you and be like, listen, I'm not sorry for what I said, but I'm sorry for how I said it. Like, I'm good for that. I will call you and tell you, like, if shit gets too heated, I'm the type of person, because I like certain people in my structure are important to me. Like, if you got mad at me about something and you felt I disrespected you, I want to fix it. I care enough to do that.
Yeah.
There are certain people in my life, no disrespect to them or their predicament or positions, but they don't serve no purpose to me. So, like, if we did get into it,
it just is
all right, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk no more.
Yeah.
I think there's always a proper way to kind of dissect. Yo, let's take a breather, because we both probably wrong, and this could be better later. And I think flight, that response helps eliminate the need to do that, because it's a running response.
Yeah. Even
when you're fighting, you're confronting some shit. It's just not healthily, you know. So
call me toxic one more time, bitch.
I did. I did it. I just noticed I throw shade at her.
Episode title right there. I said one more time.
I just noticed that this the second, third time I told her she was unhealthy. But I didn't mean it to her purposely. I mean it towards anybody that's fighting. I fought too. That's not normal. It's not okay, you know, but it's not much. That apparently is her response all the time, so she's very offended. That's not always, and that's not always my response. Bitch, call me toxic one more time. Whatever. I said unhealthy. Okay. I said unhealthy.
It's okay. I still love you.
I know. If you hated me, I would be gone already. I literally just mean that fighting is unhealthy. I don't mean that anybody in particular here does it. It's just that was you two picks, so you can't even get triggered by some shit you picked. You picked fight.
I always get triggered. You just hear me say, I'm always triggered.
And I've done all four, and I'm not triggered by anything. You know,
because you got crystals and shit. I don't got that right now.
Come on, tell the people about your bruja stuff. Let's go. Let's hear it.
That's why I'm not a bruja. I mean, technically, I might be. I don't know. I don't know what condones like which shit and what's not which shit.
When you start,
do we need what?
Do I need to pray for this?
No.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, you don't have to pray.
Look, you start saying witch and bruja. I'm like,
I'm just saying.
Witchery
is when you start using seasonings
outside
of the kitchen.
No, but you know my favorite bruja. What was it? Bad Boys 3. And Martin say you fucking a witch or whatever.
His baby mom was a witch.
Yeah, he was just like, shit happened, you know, whatever. Apparently she had good poon, so who knows? But no, as far as just we talk about mental health and trauma, and like I said, I do different spiritual things as well as actively going to therapy. And a lot of the things that I utilize from a home perspective as well, and I do crystal healing with other people too, is I'm big on crystals, okay? So I'll probably zoom in or have them post some pictures or show y'all some individual ones. And I'm big on sage, and I have empowerment spray from a shaman here as well.
And she gonna be taking all this shit home. Okay, I'm gonna make sure she don't leave none of it.
I didn't bring my tarot cards because
my Bible is in the other room.
She's already a little skeptical, but like, I keep different crystals around my house every day, and I change them like weekly. Like I have peacock ores, I have all these white crystals, and every crystal is different colors, and they all correlate with and I keep rice down there just so you know to keep it pure. It purifies my crystals. Keep rice and salt. So yeah, all these
and keeps your crystals.
Yeah, all these crystals are for different reasons. You know, like the darker crystals are great for inner child healing and things like that. It's for your root chakra. You have all these chakras that line up, and they go with all these different colors crystals, and they can help with the energy.
Sometimes can I just say my watch just told me to breathe right now?
I don't know.
Are you breathing? I don't know.
Are you breathing?
I thought I was.
Jimmy's scared about everything.
and it's not scary. Don't let these.
I'm not. But
don't let them freak you out.
You said brew house. Like, damn.
No, I did not cast any spells today, so nobody has to worry. No,
not today.
First of all, I don't cast spells on people. I cast abundance spells and money spells and shit like that. So if you want some money spells, come holler at me on my IG. I will get you paid. Now, Cash App. Another opportunity. So,
our Cash App crystal coming out next.
I know. This is one of my Cash App crystals. It's a fluorite crystal, and it's actually a green for your throat. For your heart chakra.
Let me know about this throat. Crystal, say more.
They this for your throat chakra. She needs a lapis. It goes right here for your blue throat chakra. It helps you shut the fuck up. It does.
That's not the throat crystal I thought we were talking about.
No, it doesn't numb you up or make you special down there. It just makes you be quiet. Right. It makes you not. It makes you say things you don't mean. You know, like not say things you don't mean. And I have a lot.
Back to the store. Back to the store I
go. No, they have all different crystals. They have stuff for your crown chakra and all the different chakras. But the main thing that I want to say about the crystal healing is, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people just really love the way the crystals look, and sometimes you think you're scared of the crystals, like these two people are weirdos. But it's just each crystal really does carry its own energy, and usually these crystals are found in volcanoes and things like that, where they're not man-made. You know, they're all natural based. And the one thing I will say, even if you're not into some energy shit, but you believe that they can promote good energy in your house, it's beautiful decoration to have out too. Because I have jars of crystals all over my house. And when it comes to the energy though, I always have a green crystal out for money. I keep a black crystal out for protection. I keep a white crystal out for my intuition and my keep my empath ability strong. And it also helps protect me from other people's negative energy. I keep a peacock rainbow ore to activate all my chakras. And in the morning after I get out the shower, I always use my empowerment citrus, rosemary, and bergamot spray. It's called empowerment spray. It's blessed by a shaman. And I also sage myself, and I put Stendo Palo wood on fire and rub it all around my aura to make sure I'm all clean and feeling like clean energy.
I use lemongrass oil from Trader Joe's.
I'm about to say, sound like you said a whole bunch of I got in the house.
You can though, but essential oils is also a big deal with energy healing because
I don't know no shaman. I just take it to my pastor.
Yeah, you could get it blessed.
Can I just ask my mom? Is it good? She can just
first of all,
yeah. Anybody who's ordained can bless it.
And my mama see this, I ain't touch it.
I ain't touching it. I ain't touching either, mommy.
I'm not ready.
And this, I just want to say too, because these two are crazy. It's not a substitute for religion. You know, I'm both. I'm Catholic. Yeah, I go to church not every day or every Sunday. I haven't gone to church in like 6 years. Fuck it. But I'm Catholic.
Now she out here lying before a Sunday.
I said I don't.
Wait, and then after she talked about church, she said, "Fuck it."
Jesus know my heart. You know what I mean? I feel like me and Jesus.
That's what all the heathens say.
I never claim to be righteous. I never claim to be righteous. I'm definitely somebody who go against the grains of life. So I might be a heathen, but it's all in good fun. But everything I do it with the firm belief that God still has my back. You know, I've never strayed from the church or strayed from my faith. You know, I don't think that my dad is living up amongst the clouds with crystals. I think he up there with Jesus, busting it down with Tupac, talking about how much he loved me because I'm Tupac one and true wife.
I can't.
I have his name tattooed on my body. Like, fuck y'all. He's my husband. But yes, I'm a big crystal healing person. I love, and you can lay the crystals on your body, different parts of your body to promote good energy. They're also even good for joint pain. I got crystals that if you hold them, like if you have joint pain and stuff, I have people come over and do crystal work. They don't feel joint pain anymore.
You don't need CBD oil.
Oh, CBD is the shit. I didn't know we were advertising that here. We're talking about CBD? I love CBD.
I was just saying for joint pain, like I know CBD.
Listen, CBD is the shit.
I mean, I do have a friend who does a lot of CBD stuff. So if y'all want to check out Pure Shaka, okay, I'll add them too because I love all of them, and that's their shit. So
yeah, CBD oil and CBD flower. Like if y'all happen to be people that have happened to indulge in THC previously and you're having a hard time withdrawing from that, get some CBD flower. Like it literally gives you all the same effects except you're not high, quote unquote, but you're relaxed, you feel calm, your body is good. I just went to DC and picked up a pack of CBD pre-rolls. I had some CBD gummy bears that have been great. CBD oil.
I do have cream that I put on my knee, and honestly, it's phenomenal.
Man, I really do believe in CBD, and I believe in what, like, you know, and don't, just because I'm talking about this or that or whatever, if you into some other shit that makes you feel good, I'm into whatever somebody wants to do.
Whatever helps you.
Yeah, that's not hard drugs.
And not harmful to yourself.
Yeah, not harmful or hard drugs or nothing like that. But if you want to really do something that is just for yourself.
It centers you.
Yeah, like I do crystals just for me. I share it with other people, but this is, you know, it's my thing for me. You know, I don't do this for anybody else. And as far as like just recovery, I think the main point I can say to wrap up just mental health in general is you're never fully recovered. So if you're waiting for the day that you wake up 110% yourself, you're fucking retarded. You're not gonna do that, dog. I've been in therapy over 10 years. You're always going to be a work in constant progress. Right. And if you can appreciate that about yourself, love that about yourself, and understand that that's always what it's going to be, progress. We never, I mean, when do you want to start making progress? When you're dead? You always want to make progress. So you're just a constant work in mental progress. And I think that's a beautiful thing when people can, you know, be vulnerable. Don't ever let nobody make you feel like because you talk a lot or you express yourself that there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with people that don't. You know what I mean? Be as open as you can. Because coming up as a kid, you know, I was teased a lot about having a big mouth, saying things that I shouldn't, or you know, just being overall too expressive, and people weren't really familiar with that. And I just always looked at it like a bad thing. And then when I got older, I looked at it like a superpower because there's so many people who don't say nothing. And sometimes I'm fortunate enough, like on this podcast, there might be somebody that feel exactly the way I do, and I got to speak on behalf of how you feel. You know what I mean? So it really is about a constant state of progress. And I don't want anybody to listen to this podcast to think that, oh, well, she had it figured out, or she been in therapy this long and she still, I still need it. Yeah, I don't got it figured out. You know what I mean? But it's what makes me and maintains my lifestyle to a good quality of life by doing these things. So if it gives you a better quality of life, don't say no to therapy because you're afraid. Right. You know, don't say no to medication because you're afraid. Don't say no to other alternatives of help because you're afraid. You know, I think the scariest thing in the world is to be broken and never feel healed. You know, that's probably my biggest fear in my life. So I think that as hard as it is to be vulnerable, you know, like Jen said before, it is so sublimely necessary to be authentically who you are, even if it's just to a journal. You know, you have to be you somewhere. So I encourage everybody to be themselves. And if they need mental health, you know, links or suggestions, you can definitely hit up my page. I follow a lot of them. Jada Pinkett Smith actually has, if you go on her I believe it's her Facebook or Instagram, she has free I think 3 to 4 free mental health sessions. Like, you know, a lot of Black therapy Instagrams have this. We could probably list them at the below after the episode, but I just want everybody to be safe, like feel safe to go get help if you need it, you know, because that's positively the first biggest step you would take. And it, you know, I will say, if you scared, don't be scared. Because the worst thing that's going to happen is you won't be the same place you started. Yes. You ain't going to be no further back. You know, you're just where you started. You know, the worst thing somebody could do is give you an answer that you don't necessarily like. You try a new therapist, you know. I think everybody should be more invested in their mental health. Absolutely.
Be as invested in your mental health as you are in your barber. Okay. Just saying. So know what genders that's just saying. Black mental health matters.
Mercy. So you are definitely our SME of the day. So thank you very much for the information. Welcome. That sounds like a sticker we need to get you. SME of the day.
Yeah, that's not me. That's subject matter expert.
Yep. That's what it is. Okay. So you want to get Newsy real quick?
Yeah, we can get Newsy real quick.
So this week's Let's Get Newsy comes from the coon capital of the world, South Carolina. Senator Tim Scott said that America is not racist. And then...
He's not a real Black man.
And then our first lady kind of went and pom-pommed in the peanut gallery and said, no, America's not racist.
She's married to a white boy.
Facts.
So, with all that information we just gave you.
And on top of that, I think this is where, like, when people are like, even when someone is half black, they are black. No, it's different. And I think that these are the times where we see it come out. Mm-hmm. Because maybe she doesn't inherently feel like America's racist because she is black and she is Indian, right?
Black and Indian, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe in her experience, she doesn't do it, which is why she's so comfortable with pussyfooting around the issue. And that's just not the case.
But
America is Tim Scott is
he's
lost.
Nigga.
He's a lost one.
You a whole nigga.
Someone's paying him to say these things. Has to be.
He's been on my shit list ever since he was supporting Trump. So like, I don't. What I'm trying. It's not that I have nothing to say about him. I don't expect nothing from him. Yeah. That's what I should say. I don't expect nothing from him. No, Kamala, bitch, I expected better from you. Yeah. That's all I really got to say to her. You know what I mean? Because I'm a mixed person in America. You know, I came from a mixed household. My stepdad, my father was mixed as well, and my stepdad was a white man. You know what I mean? I know what it feels like to grow up. I guess you would say a little overtly, you know, negligence of seeing racism things, but it never made me feel like America wasn't racist, you know? So even coming up in a good environment in majority white schools, majority white situations, I've still noticed it. You know, I don't think because I was maybe a little bit more privileged in certain aspects of my life that white people were ever less racist. I just think that I wasn't put into as many predicaments to see it.
Right.
And even if you think that, you don't have to say it.
There's no way.
I mean, she could have kept this shit to her fucking self. Yeah.
Because again, look at how the election went. It was the black community that brought you up. Why? Because we were tired of seeing the racial injustice. This just didn't pop up today.
Did you think they wasn't racist when they was headhunting at that Capitol on January 6th?
You think it was racist when that gunman showed up to the vice president's residence and was waiting for your ass to come out?
I mean,
it never happened to anybody else.
Correct.
So sometimes if you don't have anything positive to say
or intelligent
just shut up. Go ahead and take your walk through the White House and let them take your pictures and post it to your Instagram, and we'll like it and let's keep it moving. But as an HBCU grad and the first woman vice president, and that is black, just shut up.
Yeah. I hope Howard tells her she can't come to fuck
because that was goofy.
Yeah, and Tim Scott, you're Tim Scott. You're basically
I don't expect nothing
like you said,
from her.
I don't expect anything, but from Kamala, I expected more.
Yeah.
So stop. So we're gonna wrap it up with the play yourself. We haven't done that in the last few episodes. Really
I know.
I'm like, y'all just be playing us so much. I don't have to keep warning you about stop doing it. I don't know if it's.
I guess
aside from that,
I know.
Playing me.
I know. I guess what y'all not fitting to do is play with us on Mother's Day weekend. This is a shout out to all the moms that are out here doing their best every single day. Yeah. And you know what? Your best is good enough. And you're going to be able to still show up tomorrow for these kids and get it done. Yeah. Get it done. With or without support. You're going to get it done. Okay. So we're happy to see everyone doing it. We are going to keep doing it and showing up. And we're going to be cute while we do it. So.
Sure is. And don't let nobody tell you no.
Period.
Absolutely.
You always come up with a plan B, C, D, and have to get what you want. And honey, there is always another Cash App around the corner.
So at the end of this episode,
don't you worry.
We'll be giving you her IG. Feel free to slide into her DM. And, she'll give you her Cash App. Okay? So thank you very much, Tianna, for coming. We appreciate it.
I had a great time.
Yes. Thank you. You guys do it again. And until next week, bye.